What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, let's go a little bit, Cancer. Welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based on our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what, did you even see that, Cancer? There you go. And I'll talk about what sign she's in. That's Rhonda. I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Friday, happy Venus Day. And also, Cancer, the moon is in Sagittarius. And with the moon being in Sagittarius, this is a really cool placement for the moon. You know, Sagittarius, hold on, Cancer. Sagittarius is very much, thank you, they are a very spiritual sign. You know, I feel like that's one that gets overlooked, considering that Jupiter deals with them, not just expansion and abundance and luck and things. You know, Jupiter's a very wise sign, and I feel like this is a great energy for you to get in touch with your spirituality, Cancer. However that looks, you know, however you connect with the source, with the higher self, future self, the ancestors, spirits, all that good stuff, Cancer. But also, you know, they deal with like Sagittarius deals with like the higher mind as well, Cancer, you know, that higher learning and things. So this could be another thing where we may take up, like, maybe thinking about taking up a course, or maybe, you know, even finding yourselves a teacher, or, you know, maybe Cancer, maybe you're feeling inspirational too. Sagittarius, very inspirational energy. Maybe you want to become a teacher, something along those lines. But it's also very optimistic energy, Cancer, very upbeat, very, very lovely energy, ambitious. And also, this could great energy for traveling as well, Cancer. So if you've been having a bit of wanderlust, been wanting to go on an adventure, you know, Sagittarius energy's got your back. And then you couple that with, especially that higher learning, Cancer. I like that with this energy, because with we're in the waxing gibbous phase now. And with this is about really kind of clarifying your directions and intentions, you know, or, you know, it's like we're at the, getting towards the finish line there, Cancer. And it really is just like, how do we like what we're seeing so far? And in the ways that we've grown, is this really what we've been, is this really what we envisioned, or do we still need to make some adjusting, some tweaks, and some things along those lines, you know? But either way, Cancer, we're getting closer to that celebration time. And I like this, the energy on this card. They'll talk about that the waxing gives us the tarot card associated with it, which is the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius. So look at you syncing up with the energies, Cancer. But just something to think about there as well, Cancer. And then last few things. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching. Very intuitive, very, very just, I love the energies of them, Cancer, so I think you would like them as well, so definitely go check them out. But let's get to your first card here. Oh, and they happen to share a ruler with Sagittarius. You got the 5th card of Pisces here, which is Spilled Milk card. It's going to be alright, Cancer, because this is a card of regrets. Accidents happen. Don't sweat the small stuff. Mistakes. Leave it in the past. It's over. Cannot be changed. Disappointed. Cleanup time. Let it go. And minor problems. Alright, Cancer, and the energy that's coming through here is to leave it in the past. And this could be for a number of things, Cancer, especially because the spilled milk situations remind me of kind of like little they're kind of like little baby towers for me, and that's not diminishing the stuff, whatever situation may have recently gone down here, Cancer. But I do feel that there is, with our sign in particular, you know, because we are associated with the 4th house, which deals with the past, you know, one of the aspects. And when we have past situations that it's one thing to, because ours is a sign of experiential wisdom where it's like, we take the lessons from the past and apply them to present to shape the future. But if we get in the state of replaying something maybe that's happened from the past, like over and over and over again, maybe it's like, oh, if I would have went about it this way, or man, I wish if I would have said this, or then it's at some point, it gets to where the energies are going to start stagnating, Cancer, because it's just like we can't change anything that's already happened, but what we can do is it's learn from what happened in the past so that these things don't happen again, so that, or so that when they do, we're a little more prepared for this situation, depending on how this thing may have gone down. But it can be hard, Cancer, sometimes. I feel like for our sign to, even with how much we feel all the time, and I think that's might partway be what it is too. It's like we may have felt about it one way during this situation, when the moon was in Scorpio. It's like we weren't, kind of gigging deep down, but now that the moon's in Sagittarius, we're feeling a little more optimistic, but then we get back into Capricorn, and then now we're feeling all pissed off again, and then we don't want to then we're ignoring God. Like it depends on when we're revisiting that thought, what energy we're in, and what, really how we can maybe even get stuck in that, Cancer. But I do feel like, especially since we're in, talk about the Sagittarius and that expansion Jupiter energy, that growth and things, we do want to make sure that we're taking this stuff. Take what you need to, and leave the rest in the past. Bring the lessons with you, and the growth and the wisdom. And those sidebar, Cancer, Jupiter's exalted in our sign. So after Sagittarius and Pisces, he loves kicking it with us. So, this, I feel the more we're growing, the more that these situations just get a lot easier, Cancer. But let's get some tarot on this, get some details. See how we can work with this energy. Cancer, let's see what we got here. Oh, interesting. Alright, Cancer. So you have the Ace of Wands, the Seven of Stars, the Emperor, and the Hermit here. And I feel like some ways we can work with this energy, Cancer. One is being mindful, I feel like, with the Seven of Stars here, about how much we invest in something like that, especially when something that is past. If we keep replaying that thing over and over again, Cancer, all you're doing there is just burning that candle down to the wick for no reason. I feel like there's a more constructive way that we can channel this stuff here that can help us rise above and find this place of stability. Get into this place of like autonomy, or just like feeling that that the growth is happening here. But I do. It's just it's very tricky energy. I feel like because I feel like sometimes it's like when we think we may be revisiting a situation, is that we may feel like we're reflecting or something along those lines. But I'm kind of getting with the Hermit, but it seems that it's like the Hermit is Virgo energy, and it's like we want to be mindful about like just revisiting the past. I feel like as a means of it's like visiting. You just be a bit. Let me get a little bit more with this Hermit, Cancer. Because the past can bring about inspiration and things, like when we're feeling in a tough situation. But this feels a little different. It's like it's being in the routine of like playing a situation out or something along those lines, Cancer. Maybe it's like this could have been an argument maybe that we had, and wishing we would have been more assertive maybe in something. It's just like, well, hold on, Cancer. Let's see what else we got here with this Hermit. Oh, interesting. So the Hermit is clarified by the World and the Page of Wands here, Cancer. And I feel that if we're not mindful, I think of if we're not leaving it in the past, we got to be mindful of what we're creating in our present, because it's because even thinking with the world, you know, whatever this situation that has happened, it may take some time for you to heal from this thing, Cancer, for it to process. But again, the world, Saturn, is very much about wisdom as well. Rewards just as abundantly as Jupiter, but there's something here about there's this work that's needing to be put in as far as like just like keep like I'm almost getting in the sense of like it's not putting your emotions aside, Cancer, but it is more so just along the lines of just like seeing how, paying attention to how we can, how situations from the past, you know, or something along those lines can, how our emotions can refuel that, or how that energy can keep us stuck in a loop potentially, you know. It just, yeah, just something to, we just want to be mindful of there, Cancer, because it is like it's a weird balance. It's not like I'm saying we forget the past, but there is a time of being caught up in that too long. So, all right, Cancer, let's see what our see what are some challenges here. Cancer. All right, so you have the Five of Cups, the Five of Stars, and the Five of Wands, the Five of Cups, and then the Knight of Stars here, Cancer. And I don't know if I mentioned this, Cancer, but the stars are pentacles, and then the crystals in this deck will be the swords. But with this energy here, Cancer, it does feel like that for some challenges are, again, it's just like it's like dragging a situation on too long. I feel like with because the Knight of Stars is Taurus energy, and you know Taurus is considered, you know, the slowest, or but not even just Taurus. Like the Knight of Stars more so is considered like the slowest moving sign of the deck, or Knight of the deck, and it just feels like that. There's this. You know, we just want to be careful about taking conflicts, you know, maybe taking times where we felt like maybe someone let us down, or whatever this is, you know, that we don't drag this on too long, Cancer, you know, because then it can become this whole kind of blown up thing. And let's say, for example, this is an argument, and let's say, you know, we go back to it later now that we've had time to kind of ruminate on it. I don't know. It just feels like that even just with this Five of Wands, it's just channeling our energy a different way, a more kind of constructive way than feeding into the conflict, using it as a means to, as a way of like, again, what can I learn from this situation? You know, why? And you know what? That may even be something to ask ourselves too, you know, like, why do we feel so hung up on this situation? If that's something that's going down, if we've been feeling kind of stuck, you know, addressing, you know, were we disappointed with what they said, and why were we so, you know, is there something deeper? Maybe that is, you know, because if we're going to do it, I feel like, you know, be in the past, like, let's really do some kind of soul searching here, really do some brainstorm as to why this thing is such a problem, or such a thing that may be kind of plaguing the mind here, Cancer, something along those lines here. But and let me get a little bit, let's get some more on this, Cancer. Cancer, see what else we got here. Interesting. Alright, Cancer. So you got the Ace of Crystals here. And I feel like that it's, this Ace of Crystals here is like, it almost feels like that for some, there's this idea of that if, it's like we've gotten so rooted in the idea, maybe for some of us, it's like this, I don't know, this it seems like that the thought has been, because the Ace of Crystals, the Ace of Swords is a double-edged sword. It's one of those, it could either be an epiphany, like, because our thoughts are powerful, and they can get us into a place of growth, or they can get us to a place, in this with all the elements, but, you know, with the crystals, with the crystals, it's like if we stay in that energy, and then to Cancer with how we feel and how we attract energy with how we feel, it's something we do just want to be mindful of how we invest in these thoughts, and just like I don't know. Okay, I kind of feel too that there is, because it's like it doesn't feel like I'm telling you something you don't already know, Cancer, but it's just it feels that it's one of those things, like every now and again I feel like there's one that really kind of trips us up every now and again. It'll come like while you're brushing your teeth, or maybe while you're washing the dishes, or while you're going on the walk, and you're kind of entertaining this narrative maybe, or something along those lines, because we remember how things really made us feel, and it's just like that recall is, Cancerians do have good, decent memories, and it is something where hmm, this I hope that makes sense, Cancer. Just something to really think about there. Just how we may indulge maybe in the past, or something along those lines. All right, Cancer. Let's get some advice from Jupiter. Cancer. There's a self card going around here. Cancer, last little bit here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, and there's Jupiter. I love when you sing it with the energies, Cancer, like for real, because you have and look at that enlightenment with the Queen of Crystals. You have the Three of Wands, expansion, Queen of Crystals. Say that 10 times fast. Queen of Crystals, the Self card, one of the special major arcana cards in the stack, and the Wheel of Fortune, big pop of Jupiter. Let's switch back over to Cancer, because I love that when Jupiter shows up, just in general, but oof. Because let's talk about the Wheel of Fortune, Cancer, because you do got a lot of cyclical cards here with the Wheel of Fortune in the world. And if we've not been, because here's the thing with Jupiter energy is tricky, because where yes, Jupiter is abundant, but if we gotta be mindful of the energies that we're in, because if we're not promoting expansion, then whatever we're promoting right now, Jupiter's going to give just in abundance. Whatever vibration we happen to be in, lower or higher, that he doesn't discriminate, and that's something we just want to pay attention to how these if we just it just feels like that. It's just like maybe these thoughts every now and again that just happen to get in, that just kind of just make everything murky, Cancer, that remove you from the present, and it's just like being careful of being caught up in that, and because even thinking with the Self card here, Cancer, it's like maybe for some it's like if this was like a situation with like a person, for example, this could be where it's focusing a little bit more on yourself, and not, maybe it's like we're thinking about this, I don't know, it's like we're giving, if this is a person, it's like we're giving this energy to this person as opposed to giving this energy back to ourselves, like and I just feel too that there's just with the Self, it feels like that there is, and with the Self and the Hermit here, just like reflecting on, especially if you do notice, like how I was talking about, if we find ourselves like just kind of playing out random scenarios and things, it's why is that happening? Because I feel like if that is something that's going on, there is, because maybe it's for some, it's like maybe we're trying to leave something in the past, maybe, because that's something even too to think about, Cancer. It's like we may be trying to leave something in the past, but there's more that's needing to be discovered. Maybe there's some another piece or something that may be missing to helping this wheel or this cycle kind of come to this sense of completion here, Cancer. So a lot to think about there, Cancer, but I think I'm gonna leave that there. So if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. A lot of very, very insightful for Friday here, Cancer. Very, I'm with it. And share this if you know someone who's, I don't know, either been having trouble, kind of moving on, or just saying in the past, or or maybe not facing things, Cancer. It could be, however this may be kind of resonating. Yeah, share this and tell all them emperors and hermits to subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified on all these videos each day. And then I'm on this meditation app, speaking of all this hermit energy, I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. It's just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And as the group grows, I plan on doing different healing meditations and guided affirmations, things along those lines. Cancer would be a wonderful time. Maybe do something like, manifesting abundance with the Wheel of Fortune, or going within with the Hermit, something along those lines. So definitely check that out. And then lastly, consider you got your Jupiter here, Cancer. Check your chart, check your Jupiter, check your Saturn placement. Those are kind of bigger, more kind of outer planets there, Cancer. So it might be more kind of generational aspects. Jupiter's in the sign for about a year, so I got a few. Most of my friends, they all got that Jupiter and Leo. It kind of stopped after. This nature might, but just check your chart, Cancer, and come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos weekly there, different things, a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here, Cancer, so I can get you out of here. Look at it, got a little, look at that, Cancer. I like that. You got the Lovers here, and with the Lovers being here, I do feel like that, because the Lovers is Gemini energy, the opposite sign of Sagittarius, and I feel like that there's like, maybe for some, there's just these maybe little, again, it's just like it's like either where our thoughts are at, just thinking with how Gemini energy can be very thinking very much all the time, or this could even be just like there's some details maybe for some others in this, just even thinking with how we're talking about that leaving in the past, that's like we're maybe missing something. There's something that like higher self, because the Lovers for me is like kind of like a higher self kind of winking at you there, Cancer, and just maybe just a need to like connect and kind of find that there's again, either a source to why we're not facing something, or a reason to why we're getting kind of caught up in something. Maybe these flashes of these men, whatever that may be, Cancer. But let me get your oracle card here. But I do feel like, too, with the Lovers, it is a card of choice. And, we can either choose to stay in that energy, Cancer, or recognize this. Once we get eyes on this thing and figure out where we can grow from this. Interesting, Cancer. Well, I like Palo Santo. You got the Palo Santo card, which the 55th card is the Guardian card. And this is, which one is this? That's the South Node. So this is ruled by the South Node and Pluto. And with this energy, Cancer, I kind of like that, because it's like, it almost gives me this sense of like that even in spilled milk situations, Cancer, when we find ourselves, in this thinking energy, or even, if this is not something that's happened, even when we're happening in the future, it's like, I don't know, this Guardian's almost giving this energy of like, maybe for some we feel like we're not protected, or that we're not, it's just like, where was my, guides and things when I was in this situation, or something along those lines, Cancer. And I feel that there is, because the South Node deals with like with the things that we've mastered, like in our past lives, Cancer, because my South Node is in Cancer, and I feel like it's taking that, I don't know, Cancer, it's like it's taking that energy from this past and using it to transform you. It's just like there was a reason that higher self put you in these situations, or we found ourselves in these things. Like even, the positive, negative, they all happen for a reason, and we can't have one without the other. And I do feel that it's remembering that you are always protected. And even just thinking about that, Cancer, I don't know, like it's a matter of cycles here, because even just thinking about 55, when you reduce that down, turns to 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. So interesting, Cancer. And this is a sidebar, Cancer, just and this is not medical advice or anything along those lines, but Palo Santo is really nice, getting the little stick. It cleanses the energies, and that might be something too. Maybe just need maybe we've been kind of stewing in some energies, Cancer. That happens, and that energy can permeate in our home. So maybe even just going through there and just kind of cleansing out the energies might be something that kind of help with that too. So just something to think about. But I am gonna leave that there, Cancer. Get you off on your weekend there, so you stay safe out there with all this spilled milk and, we're stuck with the past, Cancer. One more thing, Cancer, just even thinking with that, just on just how we were talking about the South Node stuff, just another little spiritual note before we get out of here. This does feel that there is a sense of it's not necessarily leaving, because the South Node is, again, is what we've already learned, and then the North Node is what we're aiming to achieve here. My North Node's in Capricorn. They're always opposites, and I feel like that it's leaving the comfort of that already past energy that you've mastered, and it's stepping into a newer energy for some. I feel like that there's this, it's leaving in the past this idea of maybe what we think we wanted to do, and like it's like taking this to a different calling or something along those lines. Cancer, like in the past I might have been more so kind of focused on the home space, so now being in a Capricorn, it's like it's putting the things out there, more being achievement, being accomplishments and things along those lines. So, but yeah, something to think about. And you keep eyes on the moon there, Cancer. Hopefully you got your own little personal crystal moon. Mine's obsidian. It's so funny. And keep eyes on the moon wherever she happens to be over in your part of the world there, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one, Monday.